This episode is sponsored by iTunes. Go to www.cheapseatreviews.com. Click on the iTunes button, purchase anything you want, and a small portion will go to this podcast.
Congratulations. Your selection by Video Production News is evidence of the hiring committee's recognition of your employment history and unique personal qualities. It is my hope that through hard work and commitment, you will move through the intern program and continue to pursue your career goals as full-time employees of Video Production News. I can tell you from experience that the surest way up the ladder is to listen carefully and follow my orders. You may be confused at times and other times unsure. But remember, I will never ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do myself.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
This is Cheap Seat Reviews.
Hello, and thank you for listening to Cheap Seat Reviews, the podcast that explores the Hollywood film industry for the greater good. And we don't do it in a creepy, seedy, awkward, violent way.
Says you.
This is episode 96, and today we're talking about Nightcrawler. Yeah, we're still in that beginning part where we're driving the bad car. We are talking about Nightcrawler. I am Sean Man Bun Allred, and joining me tonight
nice
is Corny. My Dodge is better than your Dodge, Logan.
That is actually completely true.
Yeah.
In every sense of the word.
Yeah. As soon as I saw that car, I was like, that's a nice car. But I know Corny is literally watching this movie going, yeah, my car's better, though. And Sam once fired a man for spilling gas on his car Vector.
Well, yes, and I did have a question. When were you going to start getting paid for this thing?
Who? For what? For this?
You keep telling me this is an internship. I would really like to start to progress my career forward in the podcasting world.
Well, unfortunately, you have not reached the point in which we would do the goals assessment portion of the internship. So until that you have completed your career checklist and are to the point where we would do the assessment tool, you are still going to be an unpaid intern.
Hey man, this is some bull.
All right.
Yeah. So let's pull up a comfy chair and dive in. It's just the three of us tonight.
Chad wimped out.
Yeah. So
he's got a band concert.
Yeah, and that's okay. He's a band director, and
some of us actually have real jobs.
Yeah, something like that.
So what did you guys say about me last week when I wasn't here?
We said you had a gig.
Okay.
We said it's that time of the year where you do a lot of gigs, and you were gigging. You were actually making money.
Oh, that's very true.
Unlike what we do. We just make people frustrated or something. This is 2014's Nightcrawler.
Bamf.
Never mind. It's fine.
Oh, I got it.
Okay. Yeah, this is 2014's. Sorry, a little behind the scenes thing was happening just now. 2014's Nightcrawler, starring Jake Gyllenhaal. This is directed by Dan Gilroy and a bunch of other people. Bill Paxton, didn't expect him to show up for real,
because you thought he was dead, just like me.
Yeah.
I have a special hatred of Bill Paxton.
You know,
you would, wouldn't you?
Here's a funny thing.
I really do.
And you're not the only person, Sam, that has said that to me before about Bill Paxton. And I know that we've talked about it on this particular podcast before. But yes. I will say this. The more I'm exposed to him, the more I kind of dislike him. Like every role he's in, I kind of hate him a little bit more.
Yeah, see?
I kind of feel like he's the kind of actor who, other than the movie Twister, which is the only movie I've ever seen that I liked him in, I think he plays the same role as he does in everything. He just plays a scared douchebag.
Pretty much,
If you've seen Aliens, the second one, where he's the guy's like, game over, man. We got to get out of here. Like, he plays the same role in every movie, right? Like,
Right.
he's basically the same thing in this movie. I may or may not have captured him saying the word brah.
Hey, brah.
Yeah, that got
Righteous, brah.
got annoying so fast.
So, my I'm gonna take a quick tangent before we get into the intro.
Sure, brah.
My favorite insult to say that I can say in public is douchebag. It's my favorite because it has such a negative connotation towards a specific type of person. And whenever I hear somebody say phrases like that, I immediately go, they're a douchebag. They're just a douchebag.
There's no doubt in your mind.
100%. And the fact that he acted that, he even said it on as an actor, makes me think that he's a douchebag in real life.
Wow.
Wow.
Because there's no reason why he should have said that, other than to portray himself as being more of a douche than he already is.
Dude,
So,
you have finally come to the dark side of the Bill Paxton Haters Club.
I'm okay with that.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
This movie kind of pushed me over. It kind of did.
And he was supposed to be a sympathetic character, I think, wasn't he?
Well, you weren't supposed to. I don't think you were supposed to hate him as much as I did.
Yeah.
And when he had his bad thing happen to him, I didn't feel real bad.
Yeah.
I was actually more shocked and awed about what happened to him, and we'll talk about that and why it happened. But anyway, if you're wondering, Sean, stop talking about Bill Paxton and start talking about Nightcrawler. Well, what is Nightcrawler?
Bamf.
Well,
They're small, whatever you call them, that dig around in the dirt.
worms.
I was going to say,
Actually, weren't the Nightcrawler?
I was trying to come up with a scientific name, but I wasn't that smart.
I was
for
going to say
that.
the mutant that has the ability to teleport.
That's
Bamf.
actually better. That's
Who
why
totally made that X-Men 2 movie.
he really did.
Bamf.
That was an awesome opening scene.
It really was.
I keep teleporting by saying Bamf.
Is that I knew that's what you were doing. I just didn't know if you were going to just say Bamf every time I say the word Nightcrawler.
Bamf.
Okay. Let's see how many times we can get this to work. So, Corny, if you would be so kind as to read, what is Nightcrawler?
When Louis Bloom, a driven man desperate for work, muscles into the world of LA crime journalism, he blurs the line between observer and participant to become the star of his own story. Aiding him in his effort is Nina, a TV news veteran
Thank you.
and former thief.
Where's the Santa Maria?
I when I was reading that before you read it, Corny, first of all, I thought it was bad writing because it's like of his own story, aiding him in his effort. It just seemed like an awkward sentence. So Jake Gyllenhaal, Louis.
Is it
What? Sam? Uh-oh. We having Skype issues already?
already?
Oh, there
Hello?
you are. Yeah. What were you going to say?
Is it Gyllenhaal or Gyllenhaal?
I say Gyllenhaal.
Gyllenhaal?
What do you say, Corny?
I always say Gyllenhaal,
All right.
but I think I've heard him say Gyllenhaal before.
I don't know. I'm going to say Gyllenhaal for this show.
I'm on it.
He doesn't own it.
What? He doesn't own it?
No. We could call him whatever we want.
Oh, well, it is his name.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, what do you mean maybe? That's his name.
Who knows? This guy plays some pretty creepy characters.
Well, he does play some interesting characters. That's certainly...
And a lot of people there in that Hollywood land do some weird stuff with their names.
That's true. Nicolas Cage is not Nicolas Cage. His name is...
Hooper McPherson.
no, that's not a thing.
There's a clip.
Crap. I actually know his real name, but I can't think of it. It'll come to me later. Anyway,
You were saying?
he just real quick before we do our intro parts. I didn't know that this whole crime journalism thing was real. I never knew this was a thing, and so then when I was looking up information about the movie, this is a real thing. The actors actually went on rides with stringers, as they're called, to see what it was like for them. And that makes me sad as a fellow
Human being?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't know. We'll talk about that more. So, Corny, right?
Yes.
This is the first time for all three
I
of
think
us
that's
seeing
his
this,
name.
right?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Right.
Yeah. So, Corny, your initial impression.
All right, so I started with this movie, and most of the time I was in a state of WTF. Sorry.
Which is a fine state to be in.
It was
for this movie.
it's right below South Carolina. Anyway, and so as the movie went along, I didn't think I'd like it, and I was kind of tired as I was going along. But it really started to catch my attention as it got weirder, and he got more. As he entered the world of Bizarro Sheldon, I think it's about the best way I could describe him. For those of you familiar with Big Bang Theory, it was just creepy in the fact that like I'm a fast learner, and then he brings up like I'm really a fast learner. And my thought process is this guy's going to murder everyone in sight at some point in time, and while he doesn't do it, give him time.
I wouldn't put it past him. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, but actually, really, I like this movie. It's not something I think I want to see again anytime soon, but I think it's definitely a good watch at least one time.
All right, Sam.
Yeah, I completely agree with Corny. This guy was. This movie is a character study, is what it is about this guy, and I didn't know these things existed either. But I guess it makes sense why. You watch the news and they're always trying to show you as close as you can to some of these things. But I'm guessing, I wonder if this is more of a West Coast thing, in terms of, basically ambulance chaser type of things.
I would bet that it has probably something to do with the largeness of the city too.
Yeah.
Like this might be a thing in Chicago, Dallas, LA, maybe San Diego, New York, maybe Detroit.
Because it doesn't seem like that in Charlotte. And that's our closest big city, right?
Yeah, but Charlotte can't hold a candle to LA.
Absolutely.
I love me some Charlotte, but let's be honest. They could probably have two of these guys, and they could, or one. You know what I'm saying? Like the news vans
you could cover the entire city.
Yeah, the handful of news outlets we have here can probably do everything.
Yeah, but my God, this was an interesting character. It's hard to watch. It really is, because it's one of these movies where the bad guy is the main character, and you don't want to root for him, but yet you're just so intrigued by the train accident happening in front of you that you just can't look away. But boy, did he act his chops off in this movie, and I believe he was nominated for an Oscar for it.
I don't know.
But totally deserved if he was. I don't want to see it again, but it certainly kept my attention and kept me intrigued. I was glued to the screen when he was filming the house. And I don't know about you guys, but I was the same way when he went into the kids' room with the crib.
Yeah.
I was literally almost not shaking, but like, oh God, I don't want to see this.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, it does. I was actually kind of like palm sweating, like what is about to happen.
Yeah. Are they really going to go there type of thing?
Yeah.
Did not, I expected his little, spoiler alert, his little intern to die, but I thought he was going to do it by his own hands. But it makes sense that this guy would figure out a different way to kill off this guy that was helping him out, the whole way. Lots of interesting things to talk about in this movie. I'm sure we're going to get to them, but I rather enjoyed it. But it's not one of my favorites. It's just something you should see at least once, I guess. I don't know if that's a not a promotion, but what do you call it? A positive review for this movie.
Right.
But it was interesting. How about you, Sean?
So, obviously, yeah, first time I'd seen this. I barely knew anything about the film. It's not that old. He wasn't nominated for an Oscar for this. Gyllenhaal was. Gilroy was the director and writer, was nominated for Best Screenplay. He was nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Actor.
Oh, okay, maybe that's where I got it from.
Yeah. But this movie, it kind of reminded me of a couple of other movies, and not in tone or directing style, but only in the aspect of the human condition. Okay.
Okay.
It reminded me of The Wolf of Wall Street, in which the main character is kind of a horrible human being.
Okay.
Right? You
Yeah.
know, the main character in the Wolf of Wall Street, he's a horrible person, right? He steals a lot of money, and he endangered his wife and child and other people while he was on his trip. The difference between Jake's character and Leo's character is that Leo's character seems like a cool dude to hang out with.
Absolutely.
You know?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Jake kind of gives you the creeps. But the other thing that reminded me of the other movie that this reminded me of, and I don't know why, but this movie has really stuck to me. This movie we did it for the show.
Yep.
This movie has actually affected me, and I think about this movie often. And I kind of just rolled around in the back of my brain, you know, like I don't know. It's like a nervous tick, you know, like when you're driving and you're just like, oh, I need to, you know, write a note or I don't know, whatever. Like this movie just Snowpiercer has stuck with me for some reason.
Really?
Yeah. That movie has affected me in a really strange way. And
Like babies are delicious, kind of
yeah.
way?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Like,
What do you think it was about Snowpiercer that stuck with you so much?
well, the line that Corny just said, was the fact that when Chris Evans is talking about that he knows what babies taste like, and like it's the human condition. What are you willing to do to survive, and how low is our humanity as a whole willing to sink in order to A, survive, and B, on the other side, maintain order so that the train can sustain itself, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you willing to do to other human beings, right? And so that kind of reminded me of this, is like, what is Jake willing to do to other people to advance his own career?
And the answer is
Whatever it takes.
anything. Yeah.
Anything. If that includes beating up some poor security guard, it means lying to the cops, it means making sure that he gets good footage of his assistant getting shot. So one, he can sell the story for more money, and two, he gets rid of a problem.
God, I can't believe it. Yeah. That blew my mind.
And the other part, so Corny made the point that this guy is kind of like Sheldon Cooper. And at the beginning of the movie, I kind of saw those Asperger's type tendencies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Little awkward in conversation.
Socially awkward, yeah.
Little socially awkward. Very smart.
No bubble. He just
he doesn't have understand those types of boundaries. He has a hard time with. But the big difference is that he was a very good communicator, and that's sometimes attributed to autism. So I went the other direction, or a different direction, with the high functioning sociopath. He is, for all intents and purposes, he's Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
Right?
This man has no empathy for others.
Right, which is what a sociopath is. He can't connect to other people. He doesn't care about Rene Russo. All he wants is a vessel for his dick to go in. I mean that, to be as graphic as I can.
so eloquent. Eloquent.
That's pretty much the conversation, if I remember it right.
Yeah. All he basically is like, I have needs. I have bodily needs, and I want you to do it because I'm turned on by you because I like older women, and basically I can control your job fate. So it doesn't matter who he screws over or screws to get what he wants.
Yep.
And he's a high functioning sociopath. He has no remorse over the fact that his dude died. The 3 interns at the end of the movie, all 3 of them can die, and as long as they're on camera, he won't care.
Exactly.
He won't even blink an eye.
And that's the scary thing. Is
Oh,
the more he is a sociopath in this movie, the more successful he becomes.
Right.
And that to me was the scariest part of this movie.
Yeah.
How, we champion that.
Yeah. So the sigh was what I think we alluded to earlier, and I want to get into more, is that this profession, and if you do this profession, and for whatever reason listen to this show, I would love to hear from you, please.
Is it as bad as this? This came out worse than like a ambulance chasing lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was dirty.
Yeah, because at least an ambulance chaser, you're actually trying to profit yourself at other people's misery, but you're still trying to get that person's misery. You're trying to get them to profit too. At least, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a small, like 0.1% of empathy for the person. Like, I feel bad that you're going through this horrible thing. Now we're going to sue that company for $10 million.
Yeah.
Because they did this thing that's kind of your fault, but not really. So
Best lawyer ever.
but this just now I think we all maybe know a cop or two in our lives. I don't know. I have my cop buddy Dave, who I've mentioned multiple times on the show.
Yeah.
And he was out in LA. So I actually might have to call him up and ask him about this kind of thing, if this was a real thing. I know it's a real thing, but if he ever experienced it. But he saw a lot of horrible things, and I've never asked him about it because I don't want to know, and I don't want him to have to tell me about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, if he wants to tell me, fine. But he's never has. Well, anyway, that's the point. The point is that he has seen horrible, horrible things, and he has probably become, to a point, desensitized by those horrible things. I, on the other hand, have never seen horrible, horrible things. Not like that. You know, you drive by, you see an accident on the side of the road, you might see a stretcher, but you keep driving. You know. But the point is that these guys are seeking out the horrific and awful and sad, that it's no longer about other people. You know, it's no longer, I feel bad for the person that's there and the loved ones that this will now affect, but how can I make money off of this?
Exactly.
And
what shot can I take of this horrific scene that will get me more money?
Yeah, and I have a clip of that in just a little bit, where it was at this moment of the movie where things kind of changed for me watching this movie. It's like, oh, this is the direction we're going, and it's kind of sad. So, I'm trying to find a way to steer this show in a positive, kind of fun manner.
Not with this movie.
But
it's a little hard.
But I mean, and I was thinking about that before we started recording. It's like, I don't want this show to be basically us just talking about all the horrible things that humanity does.
Or we can just talk about Detroit.
There's that. But most of my clips are examples of that. I mean,
yeah.
And I actually kind of did that intentionally because, I kind of wanted to highlight these kind of horrible things, not to celebrate them, but to kind of to emphasize that here at Cheap Seat Reviews, we are, one, willing to do kind of quote unquote hard hitting stuff, but two, we are not sociopathic assholes, and we feel sad for people, and we don't want you guys to think otherwise.
Not Sam.
Except for Sam.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, I think that joke actually works
Actually,
better with Chad, really.
As soon as I said it, I was like, no. We do call him the great evil for a reason.
But he's not here tonight, so we won't make fun of him too much. So I'm gonna play one clip here. It's about a minute, so just hang in there. But it's Jake Gyllenhaal being aggressive and kind of creepy.
Who am I? I'm a hard worker. I set high goals, and I've been told that I'm persistent. Now, I'm not fooling myself, sir. Having been raised with the self-esteem movement so popular in schools, I used to expect my needs to be considered. But I know that today's work culture no longer caters to the job loyalty that could be promised to earlier generations. What I believe, sir, is that good things come to those who work their asses off, and that people such as yourself who reached the top of the mountain didn't just fall there. My motto is, if you want to win the lottery, you have to make the money to buy a ticket. Did I say that I worked in a garage? So what do you say? I could start tomorrow, or even why not tonight?
No.
How about an internship then? A lot of young people are taking unpaid positions to get a foot in the door. That's something I'd be willing to do.
I'm not hiring a thief.
There you go. That was kind of the first time we got really the sense of the way he talks. Very fast, very I don't know.
Matter of factly.
Yeah, just to the point. I don't know.
It's like he's speaking the words, but he doesn't quite understand the meaning of them. I don't know.
This is the way. This is what to me it felt. He, again, because we've established, not in this movie yet, but we here at the show have kind of established that he's a sociopath.
Yes.
To me, he's talking at a job. He's
Yeah.
not talking at a man. He's not talking to a man. He's talking at a person who is in his way to get him, to prevent him from getting money.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's kind of how he views people. They're just assets. They're not. They're not.
They're players on the board.
Right. They're not individuals to be talked with, bargained with. They're just whatever, pawns or whatever. I don't know.
So in essence, the night crawling job is pretty much his perfect job.
It really is.
So yeah, I'm trying to think of other jobs out there that would fit a personality like that. Independent, right?
Yeah.
You take initiative. You obviously would have a hard time with a boss.
Well, he could also be a private eye.
Yeah.
He could kind of be like a Jessica Jones, only without the muscles. The badassery.
Yeah.
Maybe like
Or maybe some fine assery.
maybe like a coroner or something,
Yeah. Distance, but yet you get to play with stuff and can distance yourself from it.
Right, yeah. Anyway, so
Or like a sound technician. I think a sociopath would be a good sound tech.
Yeah,
Actually, in all fairness, we do know at least one guy that we worked with that does fit the remember the Godfather of Tex.
Oh, right. Yeah, well, he wasn't a sound guy, so let's be fair.
That's true. That's very true.
Let's be fair to me and my profession. No, we're actually usually just fat guys, fat, hairy guys.
Actually, now that I think about it, I'm thinking about our friend there, and I'm thinking he's the guy to walk up on a crime scene and be like, "Oh, look, check this out.
Yeah.
Hey, are you dead?" And, poke him a little bit.
And just start asking the cops questions and stuff.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of him. No, I was reading those, it was like a BuzzFeed, and it was like top 10 most awkward celebrity sex scenes. And I don't remember who said it. I think it might have been Angelina Jolie, but I don't remember. And they were like, it's so hard when you're trying to get in the mood when there's a fat boom guy there who's wearing like a midriff shirt, and he's got his hairy belly there, like at eye level, and that's all you look like. Why do all sound guys have to have hairy bellies? Like, it was so funny. Because I laughed, and I'm like, well, I would never wear a short shirt like that on set. But
Don't knock it until you try.
You don't wear the shirt at all.
Oh my god.
I've seen those photos.
No, you haven't. Anyway,
They're at.
no, they're not. They don't exist.
With the pink shorts.
The pig shorts.
The
What?
pink
Oh,
shorts.
pink shorts.
It's like pig shorts.
I didn't know where this was going from.
Wait, where's the tail go?
Right, yeah. I didn't know what was happening. I did, when we were on set at Palmetto Point, there was the Key Grip and myself did buy matching I'm Big on the Pig Piggly Wiggly t-shirts.
Yeah.
Because it was funny. We that was kind of our thing. Whenever we would go to location, they would have some kind of neat novelty place nearby. We would buy like a dumb shirt or something nearby to wear on set the next day. So that was kind of our thing, was the dumb t-shirts. I have like a Tricks Are for Kids t-shirt and some other just dumb Myrtle Beach and Charleston stuff. Anyway, no one cares. This is the point of the movie I mentioned earlier.
Are they the kind of shirts that the psycho would wear?
No, they're just funny t-shirts.
I don't know. I think psychopaths
No, stop.
would wear some pretty interesting shirts.
No,
Because he wouldn't care who was
God.
seeing
Hi, Molly.
those shirts.
No, like Buffalo Bill was not wearing a Piggly Wiggly t-shirt, okay?
No, but he was wearing a shirt.
You're wearing a shirt. Are you a psychopath?
Yes, we've established that.
And we have to make sure we're saying the right phrase now. We're not saying he's a psychopath. We're saying he's a sociopath.
Sociopath. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Sociopath.
Anyway, this was the point I mentioned earlier, in which this is the part of the movie where I realized that this line of work, this profession, this thing, was as horrible as I thought it was going to be, and I had no idea what I was in store for. But this was kind of the beginning part of what made me like emotionally sad on the inside as I kept watching the movie.
Yeah, I got some great footage of a victim being treated. No, the LAPD hasn't released it, but a manager at Walgreens says it's carjacking and the victim is the owner. He's Asian critical. Right. Well, then, look, I got a 60-second cut with a manager and a neighbor. 500. Well, then make me a deal. 400. 300. All right, deal.
Like, there's a man dying on a gurney over there. He was stabbed in the throat or something, and I got to make money off of it. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not mad at the guy for doing his job. It's just a shitty way to make a living.
No, but at the same time, we're kind of mad at ourselves because we're the ones watching that news.
Yeah, and I'm
because it's almost reflective on us as an audience.
You're right.
That this is what we want, and these are the people going out there to get it.
Right, and your dog's killing me, dude. It's also like I'm mad at the news companies for doing it.
Yep.
And I'm mad at us for watching it. And You're right. Every morning when I wake up, I turn on the news, and I'm watching bad stuff. And we're fortunate that we live in Charlotte, where there's not a whole lot of bad stuff happening every day. Though, unfortunately, for whatever reason, we've had 3 shootings at my university in the last 3 weeks or 2 weeks.
Holy crap!
Not at the university, but across the street from the university. Okay. Yeah. It's actually kind of becoming a little scary.
I thought the university was in a nice part of town.
It kind of is. Like there's sections that are really
For God's sake, IKEA's right there.
I mean, and the Swedes know how to protect stuff. They stayed out of World War II somehow. So
yeah,
right.
Well,
right. Yeah.
Well, you know what happened? Germany shows up and is like, "Hey, there's nothing but desk here.
Right.
Roll out."
These people are plain.
Or it's more like we have to invade. We're going to invade your country. I mean, we have to rebuild it. You have just these pictogramic descriptions. No, forget it.
Where's page 4? Son of a.
Am I right with that, Sweden? They stayed out of it. Which one is the one on top? Sweden or Finland? I can't remember. Damn it. This is Central Africa all over again.
Have we learned nothing?
No, we haven't.
Joe Pesci, why have you forsaken us?
Yeah.
One of these days he's going to actually hear one of these podcasts and go, who the hell are these guys?
I really doubt that, but that's
true.
I appreciate your optimism for thinking that Joe Pesci will one day listen to our show.
It will happen.
You think so? Yeah, Norway. Norway was part. Sweden stayed out of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Finland is on the inside of the 3. All right. Anyway. All right.
The area that looks like a duck.
A duck?
What? Yeah, if you look at the reverse image of the waterways in those areas around the country, it looks like a duck.
Really?
Yep.
That's kind of
it's hard to unsee once you see it.
I'm actually kind of... I'm holding my phone, like, trying to change the angle to make it look like a duck.
Let me see. I guess I could get one.
I can't.
Oh,
this is...
Well, maybe a platypus.
It kind of looks like an alligator. Like it's eating Finland. Yeah. An alligator's eating... Anyway, this is really bad radio. So Sam, this is to your point.
Okay, yes.
To your point. This is why I'm mad at the news and the people who watch the news. This explains it.
We find our viewers are more interested in urban crime creeping into the suburbs. What that means is a victim or victims, preferably well off and white, injured at the hands of the poor or a minority.
Just crime.
No, accidents play, cars, buses, trains, planes, fires.
Bloody.
Well, graphic. The best and clearest way that I can phrase it to you, Lou, to capture the spirit of what we air, is think of our newscast as a screaming woman running down the street with her throat cut.
I understand.
I hate America sometimes.
Welcome to Oakland.
Welcome to Oakland? That actually is Oakland every day.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny. You said that line reminded me of the movie The Purge, which I've never seen, but I've actually been told it's actually kind of a good movie and a really interesting concept for a movie. You guys know what I'm talking about, The Purge, Sam?
Yeah.
So
that's what I do after breakfast every morning.
Stop it. My buddy is from a little town in North Carolina. He's one of my students, and he said that about a year ago they had their own version of The Purge, where there was a kind of like a bank robbery happening on one side of town, and everyone was like, "Wait a minute, we only have like 6 cops in town. They're all over there." So the other side of town went bananas and started just like looting and whatever. So then when they had to pull cops, they had to pull cops from the other town, and then when that town saw all the cops, it's like, because it's all Twitter and stuff, then the looting started happening over there. So like, there was about a 12-hour period where every time cops would leave an area to go investigate it, and then something else would happen. He was like, it was for 12 hours. It was the purge. It was awful. And he said, I'm like on the phone with my mom, like lock everything, hide in the basement. Like, oh my gosh. Wow. Anyway, so Rene Russo, I thought was actually really good in this movie. I thought, I want to talk about the actual movie part instead of just the way it made
She's not as annoying as she was in
Thomas
Pierce Brosnan film. What's that? What's that
Thomas Crown Affair.
Thomas Crown, yeah.
I made a joke about her being a former thief.
Yeah. No, you're right. Well, she's not in it much. I actually think Jake was actually really good in his role. He creeped me the hell out.
The only person I didn't like in terms of acting was my good friend. What's his name?
Bill Paxton?
Bill Paxton.
Well, he acted fine. I mean, he acted like a douche.
Yeah, but I still didn't buy him as that character.
No, I had no problem with it.
I did, actually. I've met maybe a douchebag just like that.
Yeah.
My gigs take me to a lot of places I don't want to go. So.
Brah.
God. Like, I don't know. And this might be stereotypical of like, if I said that was in being real, people would laugh at me. You know, if I went to my students and was like, "Hey, Brock, can you come over here?" And like, I can't even finish the sentence. You know,
they're already laughing, going,
like they're already laughing at me. Like, what?
Once again, though, is it a California thing?
No,
I don't.
I think it's a douchebag thing.
I think it's a douchebag thing.
Okay.
I think if one of my students, and I give him shit for it all the time, he says Gucci. Man, we Gucci. Michael, don't
Gucci
ever say
what?
Gucci is a brand. You know, it's a very expensive brand, which means it's good.
Oh, so he uses it as a verb or
as an adjective.
What is?
Yes.
Yeah, instead of saying we're good,
it was like a thing back, 5 years ago.
5 or 6 years ago. Yeah, maybe even more recent or whatever. But like, if I said, "Hey, thanks for your help today," and he would say, "It's all good," he would say, "It's all Gucci." So he said that one time, and I was like, "No, don't talk like that around me." And he kind of laughs. So now he says it as kind of a joke, just to kind of get under my skin. But I've heard him say it a couple times, like when he didn't know I was listening. I'm like, dude, you cannot talk like that. If you're gonna succeed in this world, people are gonna think you're a douchebag. You cannot talk like that. He's like, man, I'm just talking about my buddies. And I'm like, yeah, but you talk to them like that, and then you're gonna go to a job interview and you're gonna talk to them like that. And he says, man, I didn't even think about it like that. And I said, yeah, if you say, yeah, my last job was all Gucci, they're gonna just like, what? No, and then X, you're fired before we even hired you.
Bad, yeah, get out of here.
Right, exactly. Go back to UNC Charlotte. So anyway,
we don't want your sound people kind around here. Get out of here.
Well, he's just a tech. He's not a sound
and
guy.
we've already established that most sound techs are
no, we've not established anything about sound techs other than normally we have hairy bellies.
Psychopaths.
That's
yeah.
not a thing. You're a sound guy for your church, so you're calling yourself a psychopath again. Good job.
Only 3 months out of the year.
Anyway,
so in essence, on average, I'm not a psychopath. So
the average, but still a fourth.
You would definitely have to round down there.
No, you're still a fourth. Yeah. You're a fourth psycho. Is what I'm hearing.
Do you charge a fourth of a cent?
What?
Do you charge a fourth of a cent if you're charging somebody?
No, but
no.
Yeah,
we don't pay things in cents.
You make an 89.25. Are you going to get an A?
I don't know. I don't know. Is it
that's possible. It's really possible.
Depending on the grading scale. Where are you going with this?
See, I can make things up too.
I don't know.
I
My
mean,
dog
like-
is running around scared, farting in the basement here,
I mean,
looking at her bottom.
I get paid $250,000 for a gig.
Hey, there you go.
I mean, so, your logic is flawed and wrong. I thought this was a.
She's driving me nuts tonight. Molly, go upstairs.
What an excellent podcast tonight. We've had me looking at maps, and your dog is ridiculous.
Yes.
Let me know that corny is the normal one tonight.
Right. I thought this was actually kind of fun. Well, not fun, but interesting.
You know what FEAR stands for? What? False evidence appearing real.
I've never heard that, but I thought that was actually kind of cool.
I have heard that before, believe it or not.
The only one of those I've ever heard is for the Italian Job. Fine, freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. Anyway. So we've established that Jake knows no boundaries, right?
Right.
His character has no boundaries. I think it's funny. He keeps he has a line and then he crosses it, right? And then he has another line and then he crosses it. So the first line I think he crosses is when he gets really close in on the guy bleeding. Then the second line is when he invades that house to get the shot of the hostage shooting thingy, right?
Yeah.
And then the next one is when he goes up to that car crash in the hills and he moves a dead body so that he can get the shot that he wanted.
You can't blame the man for knowing what he wants.
Man.
Yeah.
Like, I can actually see him, like, in his mind. He goes, oh, this is going to be the shot. We got the car here. We got the car there. Now, if only I had a dead body here. Well, I'll just go get one.
Well, even Rene Russo's character was like, "You've got blood on your sleeve.
Yeah,
you've got blood on your shirt."
And his response is the same one I would have. Oh yeah, Mexican place. I went there.
No, he was asking.
I realized that, but I thought that
But he just. I don't think he even really.
Oh, actually, you know what? You're right.
He was just like
mistook that whole scene.
Yeah, I think he just kind of looked down and it was like whatever. And I think she knew what was going on. And and I don't think she cared. I mean, she's just as complicit in his
actions.
Desperately do.
Right. I mean, as that guy is. I mean, at that point, she probably should have realized this guy's bananas, but he's giving me good footage, and that's all that matters to her, right? I mean,
and he's fulfilling my needs,
or something like that. Remember what we were talking about? This is what we're talking about.
Hey, brah! 5 fatals. I'm screaming out of the sky. All it up with the brush on fire. Mine. Exclusive. I'm banging. Oh, and my other van's in Carson getting the jumper. You know? I was trying to hook you up, man. I was trying to teach you something. Welcome to the future, brah.
We're gonna catch ourselves a tornado.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so the big question is now, what did he do to cause that crash?
So the next line, which is right, I clip the clip. So the next line he steps over is that after this scene, Jake realizes that this guy is competition, and that the best way to get rid of competition is to remove the competition by sabotaging his van. So he went under the van and he had a socket wrench. He made that generic socket wrench kind of sound under there, right? So you can't really affect the brakes that way.
Yeah.
But that's usually how things crash. It's like when you either lose brake or steering. And it's usually braking, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what he did. If he cut the line or I don't know. He didn't take off the tires.
But he did it. We were pretty much assured he did this.
Oh yeah, I mean that was he found that guy's house. He went under the van. He made some noises, and then the van crashed in the next scene. And he wasn't surprised. I don't know do we know if he died? I don't think so. He looked like he was staring at Jake, and he seemed really mad. And I think he kind of figured it out, but nothing from that ever happened.
Although he was spitting up some pretty nasty blood.
But like, eventually you think he's going to survive, and then I would assume he's going to go to the police and say, I think he sabotaged my van. Do you have any proof? No. but I think he did it. And the police already kind of want him for stuff anyway. Don't you think they'd want, like... Didn't we have a name for this on this show where we talked about a thing that wasn't resolved in the movie?
Oh,
didn't we have a name for that? I can't remember.
Not quite sure.
Chad would know. Oh wait,
Would he?
Oh.
I don't remember. Well, I thought but whatever. We'll have to come up with one or something at some point. That thing where we're watching, like, where there's a thing happens in a movie and then we never get a resolution to it. I'll let you work on that.
We can call it Discord. No resolution.
Discord, yeah.
Or that cord.
So then you get into a little bit more Jake kind of losing his mind. This is 27 seconds of Jake is freaking me out.
I'm not done. I also want to stop our discussion over prices. This will save time. So when I say that a particular number is my lowest price, that's my lowest price. And you can be assured that I arrived at whatever that number is very carefully. Now, when I say that I want these things, I mean that I want them. And I don't want to have to ask again. And the last thing that I want, Nina, is for you to do the things that I ask you to do when we're alone together in your apartment. Not like the last time.
Wow. Yeah.
What happened the last time?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, God. That's what happened last time.
Right, he smacked the microphone. This is the last clip I have, and then we'll dive into some fun trivia. I wrote this one basically as... This is titled, Bad Negotiations, Never Sell Yourself Short.
Does it come with a raise?
Absolutely.
How much?
Pick a number. You pick a number.
$75 a night?
Agreed.
Wait, what about more, you know?
Not now. We close the deal.
I could have gotten more, couldn't I?
Absolutely.
That was the only time in the movie he was funny. The only time. That was the only moment in the entire movie where I chuckled.
I will agree.
Yeah. So I thought that was actually kind of funny.
But I think actually it's very smart of him to allow him to take that number, because I'm pretty sure in his sociopath way and his Sherlock way was able to determine that he won't go more than 100.
Yeah, or I mean, heck, the guy probably could have. Go ahead.
We all know that he can't foresee the future. He didn't know this guy was going to die that night.
Right, and he didn't know that he was going to turn on him later on in the movie too.
Yeah.
So I think he actually was genuinely excited about having this guy on as a partner, but I think he realized that this kid is so desperate for anything that he's not going to want to, what is it, look a gift horse in the mouth or something like that, whatever the saying is. Like, he doesn't want to ruin his chance of succeeding by throwing in a number that's so high that Jake says, get out of the car, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I only said $75 a night, but I could have had more. Absolutely. Like, you know what I'm saying? He probably could have said $500 a night, and he would have said it, because the money this dude was making was becoming bananas. He just closed a $15,000 deal.
Yeah.
So, and was going to make $50,000, which he knew, the kid didn't yet, he knew he was going to make a $50,000 deal on finding those guys and calling the police. Which was messed up, by the way. Good God.
Talk about a scene that I did not want to watch happen. Oh, man. All right, so just for those of you playing at home, there's a scene in the movie where there's been a murder, a triple homicide at a home, and Jake Gyllenhaal's character, Mr. Bloom, has gone into the house, filmed some stuff, kept some information away from police to use for later, and tracks these guys down to a diner, and it has the makings of there's going to be a bust, and that's it. Turns into a shootout with other police officers and a really awesome chase.
Yeah.
But the whole premise that all that goes down, in such a short amount of time, and the fact that he could have prevented all it's just that bothered me a lot. Actually, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. He waited until they were in a diner where there were other people because it would be more dramatic for the cameras.
Yep.
And I wrote in my note, he doesn't want to give the footage of the bad guys to the cops so that he can find them himself. This can't end well. I actually thought that he was going to track them down and he was going to, instead of actually calling the police, he was going to actually try to capture them or kill them himself and have his buddy film it. I thought he was going to try to play the hero because playing the hero is the next best thing that you could do, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's already, quote unquote, played the hero in his footage earlier, which is a lie. But to the viewing audience, the guy who went in there, who happened to have a camera, a high-def camera, went into that house to see if he could help. So he's already portrayed himself as a hero once. So I thought that was what he was going to do again, was that he was going to portray even more of the hero as opposed to just being the guy who calls 911 on the cops. Or on these guys, so the cops show up. And the cops can do the actual hero work, which is what they're paid to do. But the scene is still totally effed up. I mean, he makes the guy get out of the car, right? Which was scary.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what bullets are going to do. I mean, I guess he's not exactly 100% safe inside that Challenger, but you still kind of like to have some steel between you and a bullet.
I mean, if it was a Charger, it'd be fun. I'm just saying.
So, especially if it was yellow. I mean, orange.
Oh, you son of a...
Orange. Sorry.
You son of a me.
I know. So, anyway. That's all. I'm getting to the point of we need to move on. Tropes, Guy will do whatever it takes to succeed. You have a pissing contest, which was really great. And we also had a him getting better at his job montage.
Oh yeah.
That's a good
one.
Yeah, Audible.com sponsored this show. Go read something or listen to something with your phone or your computer while you're driving, while you're night crawling out there looking for the horrible.
Don't be a sociopath like Sean. Read a book.
What?
Great poster.
Yeah, that sounds like a motivational poster, right?
Hey, there we go. Our next idea.
Get you a free audiobook and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/cheapseatreviews. I'm sure Audible loves the fact that you just called me a sociopath during their read. Trivia: Jake Gyllenhaal lost 20 pounds for his role. This was Gyllenhaal's own idea as he visualized Lou as a hungry coyote.
With a giant head. Oh my. Okay. His head was so disproportionate to his body. It was creepy.
Yeah. And I swear he wasn't blinking. Like he most of this movie he didn't blink.
Well, so there's a reason for that. That's in the trivia. I didn't.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. I didn't capture that, but I read it. He does it on purpose because he's trying to portray this. He's trying to because when someone doesn't blink, it's unnatural, and as the audience, it's a little unnerving, and it's supposed to kind of make us feel that he's that laser focused, intense all the time, 100%. Kind of a guy, and it's a little awkward as the viewing audience because you noticed it. I mean, I noticed it. It's like a damn owl. He never blinks, you know. So, he did most of his own driving, and including the climactic car chase at the end. He did that, which is kind of cool.
Wow, that's some pretty good driving in that chase.
Gyllenhaal and Riz Ahmed, who is, I assume, his buddy, rode along with actual night crawlers in L.A. to prepare for their roles. The film's
I wonder if he had to take a shower afterwards.
Probably.
I'd feel pretty dirty.
The film's climax was filmed on Laurel Canyon Boulevard in the San Fernando Valley, only several blocks away from the location of the famous shootout in '97 between two heavily armed bank robbers and the LA police, in which both robbers were killed. Soundtrack grade, I gave this a GS for good suspense. I didn't notice that it was bad. I didn't really notice that it was great, but it kept me in.
It didn't take you out of the movie.
Yeah, it really did. I thought it was good. What did we learn? Well, with no guilt and a camera, you too can own a Dodge Challenger.
Greatest commercial ever.
Right? I'm gonna sell that to Dodge. That's going to be the next thing. Forget Gotta Hemi. That's the next thing. All right, here we go. We decided to do top 3 Jake Gyllenhaal movies. This was actually going to be tough once I made the decision because I realized I've only seen 4, so including this one. So Corny, you ready?
I will be. I took down my list. All right. So, first movie, we're going way back here, is The Bubble Boy.
All right.
And next movie, it's going to be The Day After Tomorrow.
Okay.
And last, but certainly not least, Jarhead, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah. That was good.
Was that the sniper movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
Ish.
Ish. It's hard to call it a sniper movie because he never fires a shot.
Yeah.
But it's about Operation Desert Storm. It's a hard movie to watch for some reason. I don't know.
Because you want him to take the shot, damn it.
Well, you want him to do something other than trudge through those oil fields, you know?
Yeah.
You gotta feel bad for him a little bit. I don't know, it's Apparently, we have sound effects tonight. Sam.
Yay. All right. I've got my number 3 at Prince of Persia.
All right.
My number 2 is Bubble Boy. For some reason, I love that movie. Same reason why I love the Dude, Where's My Car movies and the Harold and Kumar movies. The randomness of it all is just amazing. And then my number 1 movie is City Slickers.
He was in that.
Yeah, he's like a child.
He is in that movie.
But he's just a dude.
Yeah, but still, out of all the Jake movies that I like, that would be number 1.
That's fine.
How about you, Sean?
My number 3, I put Jarhead. Day After Tomorrow, I guess, would have to be like my honorable mention because it's the only other one I've ever seen. I've not seen Donnie Darko, and of course we just watched this, and this doesn't count. Number 2, I put as I wrote it here, but I think I'm going to change it. So I'm going to say Prince of Persia is my number 2 because it's kind of a dumb action Disney kind of a thing. It's
fun.
It's fine. A lot of people didn't like it because it's a little whitewashed, as Disney does. But the other thing that I actually liked about it was what's his name? Dr. Octavius.
Alfred Molina.
Alfred Molina, who's always talking about, if I ever tell you about the unagi, you know, and then, anyway, it's kind of a running joke throughout the movie. Then my last one would be Source Code.
What is Source Code?
Basically, like, the government has the ability to, like, it's kind of like the Matrix, right? Okay. So there's this thing that happened, right? And they can send you back into this 3.5 minute time frame, and you can manipulate and do and go anywhere in the universe in those 3.5 minutes. And he's trying to stop there's a bomb on this train, and he's trying to stop it. And so every time he fails, he dies, right? And then he wakes back up in this machine, and then he gets sent back in. There's a couple of plot twists, and then I have a problem with the ending that I discussed at length with my wife, to which she finally just said, "You're just gonna have to let it go." So anyway, those are my 3. And that's gonna do it. We didn't have any email, but I wanted to read you this kind of this little tweet that I got from Paul. Tweets in, "Are you and your crew fans of Mystery Science Theater 3000? If so, are you excited about the Kickstarter?" Well, yes, of course we are. I basically told him that was kind of part of our inspiration for this podcast. A little bit.
Truth be told, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, full disclosure. So
and lies be told too.
And lies.
Yeah.
True lies even. Yeah.
First, I will snap free of my restraints.
Yeah.
Next time, we'll kick you in the face.
And I'm going to use you as a human shield while I kill you with the scalpel. Anyway. How are you going to do that? I picked the cuffs. Oh! Sorry. There's the whole scene from True Lies. That's going to do it. Out of 10. Corny.
All right. Like I said, it's probably not a movie I would watch again, but it's certainly something you should definitely watch. And because it kept me in for the entire Gillen long haul, I'm going to give it 8.5.
Oh wow.
Wow.
That's actually high praise. All right. Yeah. Sam.
Wow. I don't know if I could go that high, but it certainly is a good movie, but the rewatchability is hard for me. I'd probably give it a good solid 7 in terms of I'd recommend it, but only to Sean and not to anybody I like.
Oh. Okay.
Oh wow.
So 7 moving dead bodies out of 10.
Right. Okay. I don't know if I liked the movie. I'm glad I watched it. It was certainly interesting, and I enjoyed talking about it. But I kind of want to put this one away for like a long time.
Yeah.
I hope this isn't like Snowpiercer, where it just kind of like, every now and then like creeps.
Dude, people do this for a living. It just blows my mind that this is a real thing.
I know. So I'm only going to give this a 5.5.
Wow, we're all over the place.
Yeah.
This is when we need Chad to even us out.
I guess.
Dang it, Chad or Andrew.
Either, yeah, whatever. So that's it. That's our show.
Cool.
That's it. Thanks for listening, and we're done. No, that's not yet.
Don't forget to vote.
Go to our website, cheapseatreviews.com, and you may vote to what our 100th episode was going to be. Next week.
You don't pick my movie, I'll cut you.
At this point, your movie is in last place, Corny. Just saying.
That's fair.
At this point of this recording, as of right now, it is in last
Although
place.
the good thing is I still want to see his movie.
Yeah, all you gotta do is click on it like 30 times. Next week, what are we doing? Well, we're doing what's it called? A Simple Plan.
Okay.
Never heard of it. I don't know which one of you guys put it on the list.
Simple Plan.
Although,
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We'll do it next week. No, I was just thinking we just did a fairly serious movie. But
it has got your buddy Bill Paxton. He's the star.
Hey, can we find another movie with Bill Paxton in it for the next week after this one?
Oh God.
I tell you what, we'll let you know via the internet what movie we're doing next week. It might change. We'll let our crack staff team of interns determine what we're going to be doing next week.
Mr. Allred?
Yeah, I asked my manager. I am your manager, damn it.
All right. So if I get back to work.
Yeah, that's right. Sam, you just watched The Kingsman, right?
Yes, I finished it.
Flippin' awesome, right?
Dude, I loved it. I loved the action editing.
It's so
and
great.
That movie was a lot of fun.
No, I've not seen it yet.
I have it on DVR. You have to watch it sometime.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's awesome. CheapSeatReviews.com. Go vote for our 100th episode. You, the listener, will pick. We, the four of us, pick the movies. These are movies that either we like or love, or we just thought would be fun to watch. And we're not telling you which ones are which, but you probably know us well enough that you can guess. But anyway,
Sean's just the rom-com.
AKA Troll 2. No, it's not it. So go there, vote early, vote often.
Because apparently you can.
Yeah, you really can, actually. Just hit reload. Facebook.com/cheapseatreviews. Like us there. Send us a comment. Whatever.
Please review us on iTunes.
Leave us a review on iTunes, Stitcher, and now Google Play is up. So we are now on Google Play also. And podcasts.com. You may find us there also. We are all over the map.
Over. We are taking over this.
Twitter.com we are at Cheap Seat Cast. I am at Sean J. Allred. At Johnny Darko 16 is Corny. At Sneegy16 is Sam, and at Maestro_Evans is Chad. Please, please, please send us your emails to cheapseatreviews@gmail.com. And on behalf of Corny, Sam, Chad, who we miss, thank you for listening, and good night.